have something really good, a hot topic in the news, but he's been charged with crime. This is a show where I try to educate real stories. Thank you for watching Truth and Justice with Vivian King. We're excited to continue our veteran series where we go from incarceration to restoration. So tonight we have Lazaro Seriale in the studio, and we're excited about him. Danny Sneed brought him in here. Lazaro is a single parent, or was a single parent, and he's a veteran. He's worked for the VA since 2016. He's gone from homeless to a homeowner. So we're very proud of him, and we want to hear his story. Danny, thank you for bringing him tonight.
Absolutely.
And we're just going to jump right in to Lazaro. So Lazaro, tell us about you. Thank you for having the courage to tell your story. It's not always so easy to talk about your past and what you've done and your mistakes, but the good news is you've overcome that. So tell us, you know, we want to inspire people and help them understand the criminal justice system through people's stories, because that's the best way for people to understand that the criminal justice system is no joke, that life is better on the outside than the inside, and just to try to make better choices when you have that F it moment where you're willing to just do anything and not care about the consequences, to try to inspire young people or people that were in the situation you were in to make different choices.
Yes, ma'am.
So thank you. So tell us how it started for you in Ville Platte, Louisiana.
Oh, in Ville Platte? Well, I'm from Ville Platte. You know, I came from a two-parent home. And Ville Platte is a small town. Last I checked, probably about 7,000 population. The economy is not too good there. You know, a lot of violence. You know, just not much going on.
Where do people work mostly in Ville Platte?
We got a few plants, you know. We got a plant, Union Tank Car Company. I actually worked there before. We have a couple other plants, but it's really known for like sauces and seasoning. Most people I tell I'm from Ville Platte, they don't know where that's at on the map, even if you're from Louisiana. But they know of Slap Your Mama seasoning.
Right,
you know,
right.
They from Ville Platte.
Right, right.
So we known for cooking, making sauces, seasonings, you know. But like I said, the economy is bad. So to get out of that, I joined the military.
Okay. So but were you doing wrong before you went to the military? Tell me what as a young man did you find interesting? Was it stealing, smoking dope, selling dope? I mean, what did you find interesting on the wrong side of the tracks?
Well, I'm gonna say this: with nobody in my neighborhood driving no Benzes and Lexuses and Range Rovers and all the stuff we like, you know, unless you were selling some dope or something, you know. So even though I came from a great family, you know, on both sides, my mom and dad divorced, you know, we living in the hood. So, you know, the coolest people, they hustling, you know what I'm saying? So. You want some of that, you know. I played sports most of my life, but like I said, it's a small town, so when sports is out, it's nothing to do. We didn't have no YMCA center, no movie theater, no bowling alley, so you in the streets, you trying to figure it out. And I wanted to make money, I wanted to dress nice like everybody else, you know, so that's kind of what attracted me. And of course, my dad, at a certain age, my dad wasn't in the house no more to tell me what to do. So,
what age was that?
Mom and my dad divorced probably when I was about 10 years old, but about 13, you know, now I'm kind of smelling myself. And my mama is a nurse. She's been a nurse since 1981 when I was born. So she worked night shifts. So it's easy to sneak out the house, you know. So yeah, that's really what happened. I was a product of my environment, you know, just
Any
trying to.
siblings with you?
Oh yeah, I come from a family of 4 boys, so
Okay,
you
wow.
know, 4 knuckleheads.
What number are you?
3,
You number 3,
yes,
the
man.
third oldest. I mean, like one,
Yeah,
two,
third,
three,
yeah,
and then 4.
yes,
Okay.
man, yeah.
Okay. So tell me what you were doing when you were sneaking out the house.
Going to the club, about 14, 15, I was going to the club, and my older brothers, they was in the streets, so, you know, they already had like a certain level of respect. So I'm known as their younger brother, so, you know, I can go out. They wouldn't, one of them played baseball. He was like a jock known, he actually like won the SWAC championship and everything. So he kind of tried to keep me out the streets. But my oldest brother, you know, he welcomed that. Like, this is my little brother, this the next generation. And any problems he had with younger dudes, you know what I'm saying? He sick his little brother on him. So, you know, I was trying to earn my keep, you know, so fighting, hustling, show I can make money. Just in that small town, trying to be somebody. You know, that's basically what it was. But fighting, smoking weed, selling dope, doing other drugs, sipping lean, smoking wet, you know, whatever was popular at the time. A lot of the Houston culture was popular down there. We wanted to be like Houston, you know. So
How far a drive is it via Platte from Houston?
from Houston, 3.5 to 4 hours. So yeah, we right next to Opelousas, center Louisiana. So a lot of the like in the DJ Screw era and all that, a lot of them boys came and did concerts down there. So we kind of looked up to them. We listened to the same music, you know. So we same culture here, you know. We kind of played with that same culture, you know, used the same drugs and all of that. So
Okay. All right. So did you graduate from high school?
yes, ma'am.
What year was that?
99.
And then tell me what you did after high school.
After high school, I actually went to Southern for a semester. I played baseball. My family's a baseball
Y'all
family.
baseball
You know,
people.
my grandfather liked baseball. My brother was actually going to the major leagues. He got shot in the off season, so he never made it to the major leagues. So, but I played baseball all my life. Went to Southern. I didn't get a scholarship because I started getting in the streets and messing up. But I went to Southern for a semester, but same thing. On Southern campus, selling weed, doing everything but going to class, you know what I'm saying? So I just went for a semester and, you know, kind of felt bad about not going to class. And I know somebody owed us money. My mama been sending me money to go to school. So after that, I wasn't leaning towards the military. I went back to the neighborhood, and now I'm older. Now, you know, I don't have to come home at a certain time. You know, now I think I'm grown, so I'm running the streets. I can stay with other people. I don't have to stay under my mama roof and getting wild in the streets, and ended up getting myself in with some charges. You know, that's why I reference Slap Your Mama. His name is the owners is Walker and Sons. Tony Walker was our district attorney. So he the one that gave me the option to go to the military, either see the prison or the military, and the military paid
So
me.
Tony Walker, company, I mean, their family owned Slap Your Mama?
Yeah.
Okay. So he's a
yeah,
black guy?
No, it's a white guy. He used to be our district attorney. So I knew a Navy recruiter while I was running the streets, you know, in my route from my neighborhood to, well, my neighborhood I'm from and the neighborhood we lived in. I walked back and forth hustling all the time. And I used to run across this Navy recruiter he was in my neighborhood. And I used to always say, hey, man, you want to join the Navy? And I'm like, you know, I'm big head, I'm in the streets. I'm like, you know, pulling out a wad of money, man. I ain't joining no military, man. You know, we the military. But then one day, I caught some charges. We had a situation in you know, like, it's a small town, but you'd be amazed how they still got the north and the south. You know, I'm from the south. They call it the woods. So I'm from the woods. But it's like you cross Main Street and you on the north side. It's, you know, we all related anyway, but you got to claim something. So anyway, some dude from the north side, he sold me and my partners a gun. And I don't know, the gun was broke. It only took us like a week to find bullets for it, and then we realized the gun was broke. So we went looking for him, you know, kind of banged him up or whatever. So now the police looking for us. And, you know, we running in the city, hiding, whatever. But we turned ourselves in. And so I bonded out. And then I'm the only one of my partners that finished high school. So I'm really trying to figure out, man, how to get us out of this, you know what I'm saying? And just a thought came to my mind one day walking back from the hood. I saw that government car. I'm like, I got it. I went knock on that door. Hey, man, that dude, I need to talk to that dude. And I went talk to the recruiter and told him like, hey, man, I want to join the Navy. And he said, man, what you done did?
He knew that wasn't sincere.
He knew. So, but anyway, he came talk to me. You know, he made a call to the DA and kind of finessed the DA and told him that, hey, this dude already signed up for the military. This situation is holding him up. And I had no previous record. So the DA was like, you know, if you gonna join the military, I'm gonna drop the charges. So that's how I went to the military. It wasn't like by choice, but ended up being one of the best decisions in my life, you know.
How long did you stay in the Navy?
3 years. I was signed up for 5, but I ended up staying 3 years. Later story, ended up getting in some trouble down the road in the military.
Now, what were you doing in the military?
I was getting high and
couldn't stop,
drinking,
huh?
yeah.
Do you think you were addicted to that wet? I know that wet is addictive.
No, that wasn't that. That was just like a period that was cool. Mm-hmm. You know, we did that, but I left that alone. I was smoking weed in the military, drinking, smoking weed. It was, you know, that's military culture. I know Danny,
right.
I was in the Navy, so we hit a port, we gonna turn up, you know, we gonna drink. Not everybody smoking weed, but I come from the hood, we smoke some weed, so I found it wherever I was. My first time popping ecstasy was in Australia in the military, and we hit port. People was there, they had ecstasy, you know, so I don't know, it's just, I guess I didn't notice it then, but something in that journey make you want to take something and release. Even though I was doing it earlier, but I don't know, it just seemed like I needed to release. I needed to put something in my system, you know, even during the military, you know. And I can't really point to nothing specific. Like some people been in combat, saw dead body. I didn't have none of that. But just some kind of way that just became the culture. You hit ports, you drink, you get high, you do something, you know. So eventually.
What was your assignment in the Navy?
I joined as a hospitalman, a hospital corpsman. And but I had to go to the ship. They didn't have no openings in school at the time, so I had to go to the ship for like a year and a half as an undesignated deckhand. So basically just doing odds and ends, painting, chipping on the deck. And but in a year and a half of opening came, you know, space came open in school, and I ended up going back to school. So I started as a deckhand, but then I ended up being a hospitalman.
Okay, and what did you do as a hospitalman?
Well, once I became a hospitalman, I got stationed in Pensacola at the Naval Air Station. I worked at clinics, worked in medical records. I never really went out with Marines. Like, Marines use the Navy medics.
Okay.
But I never went out with Marines. I worked at the clinic. Before I got that chance, I was already in trouble and on my way out. You know?
So what kind of trouble did you get into?
Smoking weed, failed a drug test,
okay.
You know, so it was that.
All right. So then what happened? So after you got kicked out, did you go back to Via Platte, or where'd you go?
No, I was stationed in Pensacola, Florida. We used to party at Roy Jones Club, Roy Jones Junior Club, and I met a little female, messing with her while I'm in the military. And so by the time I got out, she was pregnant. And, you know, I'm from a little small country town, and I wasn't finna ask her to move there. So I just stayed, you know, and it was actually, what, about maybe 30, 45 minutes outside Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach. So I moved there and try to survive there, but I had no family there. All I knew was her and her family. I really ain't do my research, you know. So just being young, messing with somebody, now we gotta live together, and you pregnant, got a baby on the way. So you know, now we realizing we not as compatible as we thought. You know what I'm saying? So later on, finding out she had mental health stuff going on. Not knowing at the time I got mental health stuff going on. So we used to stay into it all the time. And one day we into it, and the neighbors called the police. Police show up, a cop know her. And guess who going to jail?
You?
Yeah, so, and I'm from out of state, you know what I'm saying? So I go to jail, and I got charges. They didn't up let me out on my own recognizance, but, and I go back, you know, dumb love stuff, go back, stay with her.
Yeah, but where else were you gonna go?
Yeah, exactly. So, and, you know, just like, man, she pregnant, you know, always making excuses, man, she, you know, she this and that, she pregnant and blah, 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 you know. But went back, but, you know, eventually I just got enough. Like, man, come on, man, I'm putting myself in this environment. So I just up and left, went to Louisiana, and I'm on probation too. So now I'm on the run, you know what I'm saying? But I really didn't care. I'm like, you know, I ain't got no family here. They just going to catch me when they can, you know. But so go back home, and they caught me and got extradited back to Florida, and ended up doing like 1.5 years in prison, you know. Yeah, it was.
And this is for assault?
Yeah, it was in Florida it's considered a 2nd-degree felony. Like, we had domestic, we fight, and she spit in my face, I slap her. It ain't really with the action.
Weapons?
No, it ain't the action, it's because you hit a pregnant woman.
I see.
In Florida, that's a 2nd-degree felony.
I see.
No matter how minor or major, you know. So, and me not knowing the law, I'm not trying to go to prison in Florida, so I'm cop out to, okay, I'll take this if I don't have to go to jail, you know. But then I'm end up going back, moving the house. We still together. Same thing going on. I know if I one more misstep, I'm going to jail. So I just took off, you know. So yeah, I ended up back in Louisiana and getting caught and get extradited back to Florida, and ended up doing, because I violated, now I got to do 1.5 years in prison, you know. So.
What was the maximum on that charge? Do you remember?
I have no idea.
It's a lot of
So
time.
that's a lot of time. Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Yeah.
What about the baby? Did y'all have a girl
So
or a boy?
a boy. So when I ended up taking off, he was like 2 months old.
Okay.
And this where it really get real at. So he 2 months old. You know, in that 2 months, my family saw him. We went down to Ville Platte for something. My family saw him. But then we fell out. I took off in Ville Platte, get caught up, get extradited back. While I'm in prison, child support get put on me. You know, we ain't talking. I get put on child support. Every month they call in, I forgot what they would call, but it was like a child support line, you know.
In prison?
You get a call out, and they give you a receipt about how much you owe now. Every month, you know.
What?
400, like I couldn't even, I was writing to court, letting them know I'm in jail, I can't show up to court, whatever. So, I mean, apparently she must have gave them my income or what I'm supposed to make, but I'm in prison, I ain't making nothing. So I'm being taxed $450 every month.
Whoa.
Calling me out. By the time I get out of prison, it's probably close to $10,000.
Whoa.
So I want to point that out, because that played a major role in my spiral, even after getting out of prison. You know what I'm saying? I'm a felon now. You know,
In debt.
I'm $10,000 in debt. You know, and I'm still paying current child support. So I started working offshore in the oil field on boats. Man, they taking the back pay for that debt. They taking the every current child support. And I was lucky to even get that job, and now I'm a felon.
Right.
You know, so yeah, that really made it hard for me. I actually ended up quitting working offshore because I'm gone for a month, 2 months at a time, working, and when I get my check, this ain't nothing. You know, it was.
Don't seem like they should have charged you that $10,000 when you didn't have
Yeah,
a job.
that's the system, man. And somebody need to pay attention to the child support
They do that
system.
in
We
Texas.
ain't.
You got charged child support when you were
I
in
paid
prison?
off. I thought you did. I paid off almost $30,000 in child support.
I know you did, but I didn't know the penalty. And I know you had penalty, but I
accumulated.
didn't know it was accumulating while you were in jail.
And interest.
Yeah. That's a
That
whole.
part is not right.
Yeah,
So
that's a
just
whole
quickly,
hustle.
one quick
Yeah.
story happened, and so after I had resolved and stopped resenting and running and taking side jobs, and I resented that so much more than anything in my life, the way they treated me.
Yeah.
The way I saw it,
Right.
because it's two sides of how people. Some people say that's your responsibility,
It is your responsibility.
and so I wasn't a victim, but that's how I felt. But after I got to Houston in about 2 years, and started doing the right thing, Chase had a program where they'll give you $100 if you open a checking account. So I had been keeping my money up under the
Mattress.
absolutely, because I know everybody trying to get my. I owe everybody.
You owe everybody, right.
So I go down there and open up a checking account. I'm so happy. One day I'm in Fiesta, and I ain't about $13 worth of groceries. Run my card,
They done took it.
and it don't work, right? I'm like, hold
Oh,
on,
they
give
took
me
all the money out
I
your-
just do it, just spit on it, I rub it on the thing. I asked for some Windex. She run it again. I said, y'all, I must have demagnetized my card. So I went to Chase, went in there, and the true story, this guy said, the teller said, you need to go talk to him over there in the booth over there, one of the agents over there. Like, why I gotta talk to him? I wanna know what my money. He gonna tell you what's up. He sat me down, he said, sir, there's only 2 entities in this country
They could take your money.
that can tell us we can't give you your money.
Child support and the
Uncle
IRS. And the IRS.
And he said, in this case, and he had a paper, it's the Attorney General got your money.
Yeah.
We can't do nothing about it.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't physically cry, but inside, they
I
didn't
see.
just take some of my money,
They took
took it
all
all.
your money.
but I was paying every month out of my check. And so when I got on the phone, I was really crying.
Right,
I said,
right.
I gotta pay my rent. Y'all took all my money. And so it wasn't about $1,500.
But
So
you
what
needed
they-
that $1,500.
I was so traumatized. I said, this life is caught up with me. All the wrong I done did. So
Right.
now the robber done got robbed.
Yeah. Picture you
The
going.
robber got robbed.
The
That's
rob-
cold. The
that's
robber
just-
got
That's
robbed.
just karma.
Picture you going on a date and that happened though. That happened to me.
So they gave me $600 out of the $1,500. She said, Mr. Sneed, we're gonna adjust it. I'm gonna give you enough. How much you say your rent was? $1,400. No, we're not gonna give you $1,400 for your rent.
But you were paying monthly. Why they couldn't just add some of that to
Look,
that?
Yeah.
That woman, when she gave me that $600, that walk of shame. And so I went back to keeping my money in the mattress.
I know you
yeah.
did.
And but go ahead. I just
No, I feel you.
But you have paid that debt off.
You know, I went debt
Are you
free
still-
last year in April.
I know, but that was part of it, wasn't it?
Child support and IRS. I owed IRS because some fool told me that if I took independent contractor jobs, I didn't have to pay
Taxes.
taxes.
Oh my God.
So I'm making money independent contractor.
That's so
But
wrong.
you supposed to pay.
Yeah.
Your own taxes.
So when they gave me the 1099 at the end of the
You
year,
didn't know what that was for.
Throw that away.
I don't know what this for.
That's how much they turned over to the IRS, and you needed to put that on there and pay your taxes.
So one day I got a letter in the mail, and it said, Mr. Sneed, you know what I'm saying? We can do this the hard way, or we can do this the easy way. You can either come see us
We'll come see you.
and make some payment arrangements,
Yeah.
or we can shut you down.
Yeah.
We're gonna shut you down.
Yeah.
And I already had been told by Bank Chase that the Attorney General IRS. So I went to the federal building downtown. It's a tall
Oh, I know the building.
building.
It's the Mickey Leland building.
And I went up there and I sat down with them people and I said, I'm sorry.
Oh, they'll make you get some humility.
I was.
They give you
I
some
said, sir,
humility.
I'm sorry. I just need to do something to make sure they don't just take all my money.
You had to get on a payment plan.
And I got on a payment plan, you know what I'm saying? So I'm paying arrears and current child support. I'm paying the IRS, and I'm trying to live, making $10 an hour.
Yeah.
But more than anything, Vivian, I'm trying not to be the victim.
Right.
The hardest thing for me to do when I got out of prison in 2008 is accept the fact that this is something I created, and I am not the victim, that this is the records of my past. And the only way this is going to get better, I got to start eating this elephant one bite at a time. And
And you
took
did
me
it. I'm
from
so proud of you.
2008 into 2022 to erase all that debt.
Yeah. But I do feel that system, like people when they think of child support, they think of deadbeat parents.
Right.
You know, and they didn't put that out like that. But like I say, I was in prison, never even had an opportunity to pay. And when I got out, I was already $10,000 in debt, you know.
The thing that bothers me, I do understand why the system is set up for you to pay it even if you're not in jail. But it should be the minimum, you know, like if it's $150 a month, but it shouldn't be no interest or penalties.
Yeah.
Because you're not intentionally not doing it. You know, they should, because the interest and penalty is not really, I don't think that goes to the woman. I think it's just the amount that goes to the woman. That goes to Attorney General. And that's what's wrong on that. They should charge you the minimum, because even a person who doesn't work, there's a minimum amount. You know, and I think it used to be about 150 here.
And I find
but you shouldn't have to pay that. Now that part is wrong.
For me, I find it, you know, it's not a coincidence that ain't no politician speaking on child support.
Right.
Because we work in housing. You go to housing, you get a HUD-VASH voucher, you're gonna have to recertify in a year. You know, they're gonna check your income and all. They don't do that for child support. Once you own it, you hook.
No, until you go to court and show that you're not working, or you need an adjustment, or you need a modification is what they call it. But you have to pay the lawyer or pay to get that done.
And then also, for me, like I say, I split up when my son was 2 months old. I haven't had, you know, no contact with him. Like, it's nothing saying, okay, you pay this child support and you have to let him see the child. Why we can't do that at the same time? Why you gotta go get a
do you know that there are no orders? I mean, because it could be. Have you tried to go to court or get somebody to go to court? Go look at the court records to see if it says?
Oh, it's no orders for.
It's no orders?
You're talking about as far as.
Like visitation and all that?
No, it's no orders for
Well,
that.
I think in Texas, I mean, you didn't do it in Texas, but in Texas, I think it's going to be a whole order.
You gotta go. I've been through, when we get to that, I've been through it with my other children, because see, from all this mess.
You knew what to do.
Yeah, I learned from that, you know. So I've been to, you know, what they call it, like custody court.
Right.
But that's when I'm fighting with the legal system in Florida, like, okay, cool, but I need to see my son. You got to go get your own lawyer for that. We don't do that here. But y'all taking all my money. How am I going to go get my own lawyer? I can't afford that. You know, so you get a lot of people trapped in this system, you know, with no support. And, you know, it's even if I done been in a situation where recently the same female, now we totally different now, but then went try to take it off of me. And they rejected it. They wouldn't let her take it off.
Because in Texas, they'll let a woman take it off.
They will.
In Texas, you
you
can reach an outside agreement, you know, between the two of you.
They'll make you you can't be getting no benefits from the government. You got to drop your Medicaid. They put you in that predicament. So it's either you drop your children Medicaid or any benefits you're getting, or we keeping them on child support. They put people in that position,
Oh, yeah, and they
and most
can't do
people
that.
ain't dropping the insurance for their children. So
they can't do
it's a whole game. So I think that needs to be really visited with politics and stuff, because
does
you know
need to
you putting a lot of people in bad situations. I know people who, even myself, I wanted to work,
Right.
but you got to hold a foot on my neck to where
Right.
selling dope was the smartest thing for me to do. You know what I'm saying? Because at least I'm gonna take my chances in the street, but at least I get to keep all my money, and I can take care of the family under my roof. You know.
Right. Wow. So we kind of got off to the prison and working offshore. What happened after that?
So
Was that your only time going to prison? Or did
no,
you
I've been to prison after that again.
So how many times you go?
Twice.
Okay, twice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So getting out, I went to Florida, stayed in that situation. That turned bad. Ended up going to prison. Now I get out from prison. I go back home to Louisiana, get a job offshore. I'm doing good. What caught me that time was when Obama got elected.
Okay.
The economy fell, you know, offshore was laying off, you
Right.
know. So I go to what I know, you know, hustling, selling weed or whatever. Somebody shipping me some weed in the mail, this all kind of crazy stuff. But, you know, I'm trying to figure it out. But end up getting caught, I go to prison for that. But this was like the key time for me, because when I was in prison, like I said, I got 4 brothers. 3 of my mama's son was in jail. My oldest brother got life in prison.
Did he kill somebody?
Yeah, that's supposedly. I wouldn't that, you know.
Right.
That's
I
what
mean,
the charge
that's what the
is.
charge is. Yeah. I'm not asking
for
you to
murder.
say like you got personal knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about him having personal knowledge. I'm just asking, what was
You know,
the charge?
Yeah.
What was the charge?
So yeah, he
You didn't see anything. I know that's right.
He in jail for murder. My younger brother in jail, and it kind of dawned on. And where I'm at, you know, Florida, like I was in a bigger prison in Florida. I'm with, you know, people from all over Florida. I'm the only person in prison for Louisiana. You know, I'm with Haitians, you know, Hispanic people, real gangs and stuff. And I made it through that smooth, you know. Kind of going to prison was like just an extension of the military. I knew the structure already. But in Louisiana, it's the same structure, but now I'm around a bunch of people I know. That was worse than being away in Florida. You know, everybody wants something. Everybody, oh, you my homeboy. You supposed to ride with me on this, and you know. So, it was just a bunch of ignorance. You know, like I remember writing my mama a letter from jail, telling like, man, thank you for raising me. Like, you know, I'm not supposed to be in here. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like some ignorant people. I done seen somebody slap somebody else for reading the Bible. You know, just straight ignorant. So when I got out that time.
How long did you stay in there that time?
I just did a year that time.
And that was for dope?
That was for the weed. I got caught with that. But it's like 10 pounds. So I got out that time, but I had my youngest son was born while I was in prison, you know, so now I got 2 sons living in my house, and I just made up my mind, like, man.
But what about the oldest son? So you ain't counting him, so it's 2 more sons.
Honestly, I still, like, over the years, you know, back and forth trying to see him or whatever, like.
How old is he now?
He just made 19.
Okay.
So she done told me in a heated argument, you stupid motherfucker, you, excuse my language, you signed a birth certificate, he ain't even your son. And she
Does he look like you?
Not to me, you know.
Well, you can't tell by that though.
Yeah,
you
but
can't really tell by
you
that.
can't tell. That's what I'm saying. I done been
So,
through
but you never had no blood test?
No, they won't let me get a blood test. I didn't request it for the state to give me, you know, but I got to go get a lawyer for that. You know what I'm saying? So now he 19 years old, and he ain't really, I ain't been in his life all that time.
So you don't know if he's really yours?
I really don't know, you know.
Because she said that. But she could have said that to hurt you.
She could have said that to hurt me, but, you know, when you start developing, like, you see my kids, they look, my split image, I couldn't deny them if I wanted to.
But it works out sometimes. You know, you see families. You from Ville Platte with big families. There be somebody in there that don't look right.
Yeah.
Because you know you can go back and look like a grandparent or anything.
And
So,
and that might be the case.
so
but
I don't want to discount it for that.
Yeah,
but
I
it's that
want
blood test
to
that
know,
matters.
but why wouldn't you give somebody a blood test if you know for sure?
I don't know. Why wouldn't she? Would she do it?
Who? No,
The girl, she would the mama
What about
do
him?
it?
No, I asked
What
her.
about him?
I don't know if
That's
you
what
can do
I'm
it with just two. Can't I don't know why all three of y'all don't do it.
no,
He ought to want to know who his daddy is.
I don't need her no more. He over
Yeah.
18, but you know that's what I'm saying. I ain't been in this life all these years.
So
We
he
just
probably
reached
wouldn't.
out to him, like he came to my house a year ago when he made 18. Like it got so heated to where I say, you know what, I'm gonna just wait till he 18
Right.
and reach directly out to him. And he wanted to come out, meet his brothers and stuff. And I just didn't feel that was the time to pop, hey, while you here, let's, you know.
Right.
I wanted
Not
to,
the first
yeah,
time.
you know what I'm saying?
Right. Like,
But,
by the way, are you my son?
yeah,
That's
I
crazy.
didn't want to do that, so I just figured, you know, you make him comfortable, we get
Right.
to know each other, and then when he come, eventually we get to it.
And she's
But-
probably told him that too, just like she told you, you're not his. She might have thrown that in his face. You never
I
know.
don't know, just.
But you do need to make him feel comfortable since
Yeah,
you've been
yeah.
out of his life
So-
all these years.
So that's like in the wind. But you wear my last name, so until further notice, he my son. You know?
Of course, absolutely, absolutely. He's probably yours.
Yeah, and
y'all
that
were
ain't his
young,
fault.
so
He
I
a
mean,
good
it was
kid,
probably
you know,
yours.
he a good kid, ain't his fault, you know. So
It's definitely not his fault.
yeah, so but yeah, so when I get out this last time, I'm like, nah, I can't go through this. That ain't for me, you know. I know my abilities. I know, you know, what I can do. I just needed to kind of find my tribe, you know what I'm saying? And that's when I just up and left. Like I got laid off from. I ended up start working at Union Tank, doing sandblasting at the train car company.
Where was that?
That's in Ville Platte, yeah. So I get laid off, and I was like, shit, ain't no better time. Might as well go with my move. Now I cook a lot, so when I cook, people like, man, you need to sell that. You need to, so I just figure, okay, I'm gonna go to Houston and try to cook. I met somebody along the way, like, hey, you come to Houston, they got a lot of veteran resources. I came to Houston, connected with the VA, that kind of.
What year was that?
2014. So it kind of, I don't know, I made an initial I had never been to a VA. I didn't know what the VA do. All I knew about the VA, and this is something, let me back up to that. When I got out of the military, this was what I think was an issue. There was no transition.
Right.
Basically, thank you for your service and you're done, you
Right.
know. And all the stuff I went through, if I had help, if I had, some kind of legal services like I know we got now that I'm in the position I'm in, I could have avoided a lot of stuff. But, came to Houston, got connected with the VA. All I knew is if I ever got hurt, I can go to the VA if I didn't have insurance. But usually I had a job, I had insurance. So came to the VA, checked in, somebody told, hey, you can get benefits, they'll pay you. I went try to do that, they denied me, and I ain't been back. So I just moved out here, got a job, what's it called, grocery supply over there, start working over there,
So they didn't tell me how grocery supply treated you with a criminal record.
Nah, they was hard.
They
I
didn't
came
care?
out here like October. We about to get into the holiday season. They need workers,
So they didn't care about
yeah,
you.
they
But I mean,
didn't
you
care.
haven't really done no real time though.
Yeah,
I mean,
no. And I had work history. I wouldn't stay too long. I probably got into it with somebody or they fired me for something, but I had good stuff on my resume, But they gave me a shot. It was working good. But I ended up homeless. I was, a cousin.
in Houston?
Yeah, in Houston. So a cousin that I had, she let me come stay with her. But somewhere along the way, things would left. I don't know. I can't put what's in her mind, but she got a lot of children. I think she expected, you can come stay with me and make me be the babysitter. But
Right.
I had other plans.
You wanted to
on my
work.
mind. I wanted to work. And so it was friction because you still stuck at home with your kids. So it got hot, I ain't feeling uncomfortable in somebody's house. I'm like, you know what, pack my stuff and I'm gonna leave. So I was my car was my house out here, in Houston. And I survived through that for a while.
How long do you think you had to stay in your car?
I moved out here in October, so by December I was in my car.
Man, it's cold in December.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. But
Good time to be homeless.
yeah, and I checked it. So probably about a couple months, I was sleeping in my car. That was kind of rough time. I don't really have no close family here. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So I don't even know the city.
Right,
So
right.
it was a struggle just to find somewhere to park. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So,
right.
but I had food stamp, and I know how to cook.
Okay.
That kind of got me through what I got a job, met a female. She was connected to the Red Cat Jazz Cafe. I cooked in there a little while. So I figured it out. And but then somebody told me about the VA, the domiciliary, the homeless domiciliary. And they gave me a consult to it. And I checked in there, and so that was like the start of my going back up.
So was that like in December of 14 or like in
No, I
early
checked
15?
in there like somewhere in January, early February, probably end of January, maybe somewhere like that. Yeah. So I checked in there, and just coming from now. Before I come here, I was living pretty good. I'm working at the excuse me. I'm working at the trade company. I was renting to own a home from my dad on an acre of land. I was doing all right. And then come here, and somebody like, man, just go check into the VA, the homeless thing. I'm like, man, I ain't.
Now, did you have your kids with you then?
No,
Okay, so you
My-
didn't have them with you. Okay.
that was the initial plan, but my kid's mama, she jumped ship. Things wouldn't go on as planned, so that's going on.
She went back where?
Yeah, she went back to Ville Platte.
Okay.
So I'm trying to navigate on my own, ended up homeless. And then somebody tell me about the homeless place, but from a small town, I think I'm thinking what you see on TV, the shelters, and like, man, I'm not living in that, But kind of out of the respect I had for the person, he like, just go check it out for me. And when I went check it out, it was actually like an apartment complex that the VA had leased out. And they had all the resources there, like, counselors, peer specialists, and HUD was there and all that. So basically everything I needed. So I got in there.
Where was that location? Is that the one downtown?
It
That was a hotel?
it was down. It was on OST and
Fannin.
might have been Fannin. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
it is Fannin.
Yeah,
That's
on the
OST and
corner,
Fannin.
Yeah, it's
not there now.
They
Yeah,
just
it
built
broke,
a new
it
one.
broke it down. Yeah, they building a new one on
Spanish
Webster.
Trail.
On Webster, they got a new one they building. But the
Oh,
other
downtown.
one was yeah.
Oh, Midtown.
Across the street from Phil and Darius is the
Right,
new
right.
CRC. They
Oh, okay. I pass that
And
way
a
all the
dome.
time.
Yeah, they
And
got a dorm that's gonna be on OST.
OST.
Yeah.
Dome
So
is-
they got stuff coming, but they closed now after.
So how long did you stay there?
3 months. Yeah, you got it. It's a
It's a 3-month transition?
transition, and then when you get out, they give you a HUD voucher. The VA got a program called HUD VASH. It's a partnership between the VA and HUD. And
It's called HUD what?
HUD VASH.
Okay.
VASH. So if you meet the criteria, you get a voucher to go get your apartment, and depending on your income, you pay a percentage. But I ain't have no income, so I got mine for free. So did that, got in my apartment. They got some.
And how long is that voucher for?
Yearly, you have to renew it.
Yeah,
every
you got to
year.
renew it every year. But I mean, it's no time limit on it. As long as you meet the criteria, you can
Okay.
continue to.
So
get it.
even though you get a job, just depending on how much you
Yeah,
make,
as long
you
as
have to
you're
pay.
under the federal income level.
What's that?
I don't know offhand, but they got a federal income level. If your finances don't exceed that, you still,
I
meet
want to
the
say it's
criteria.
like 1,100. I forgot what the threshold is, but when you go over it, then you ineligible.
Yeah, that's something that.
Right away or annually?
Well, they gonna like say if you 7, 8, 9 months in, it's gonna take them about 30 days to make the adjustment. Then you're gonna have to be responsible for your full rent.
Yeah.
You're no longer in the program.
Okay, and this is when you're renting from anybody, not a VA facility.
So HUD VASH, you take your voucher to landlord that accept vouchers.
Okay.
And so they have to register with the government
I see.
as a government go through their finances.
I see.
And they inspect them, and you get a yearly inspection. They got to stay up to standards. And like you said, say if you never get income, well, your rent is going to be, they're going to pay full rent.
Yeah.
But they're not going to let you just idle like that. They're going to constantly be trying to encourage you to do better.
Right, to get a job and job skills
Yeah, it's
programs.
a case management program.
Case
That's
management, okay.
where people like mental health specialists like Lazaro, and our last guest was a mental health specialist. I hold that. We use our lived experience about being homeless, being formerly incarcerated, try to get in there and talk to these veterans and make them see why it's important to keep pushing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Don't give up. We're not clinicians.
Right,
So
right.
I'm not going to try to save you, but I'm saying them people over there are clinicians, the mental health community. I would greenlight them and say those are good people.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it land different when, like I say, you hearing my story now. It land different when I done been in your shoes.
Right. Oh, no, I totally
You know what
agree.
I'm saying?
So tell me, we got 10 minutes, so I want to get to where you are now. So you got the voucher, you
So
found a place.
I had the voucher, found the place. Within 2 years, I made too much money to be on the program. I ended up getting into a work therapy program in the domiciliary. I was able to get in a work therapy program, paid minimum wage, just kind of getting you back in the work environment. Through that program, I got a part-time job in the kitchen in VA. Then I got a full-time job at the downtown office, the drop-in center. So now, when you homeless, I'm the front desk clerk that you got to come talk to, you know. So I really like that job. Then seeing the need for more peer specialists and stuff, I went to the state, got certified. So now I'm a mental health peer specialist, I'm a reentry peer specialist, I'm a peer specialist supervisor in the state of Texas. What else?
Can I give a shout out to Greg Fulton
Yeah.
for being so supportive of you?
Yeah.
I knew about you through Greg.
Yeah.
Greg told me about when he met him, because I worked alongside Greg at the service center and they needed an intake. And he said, man, I met this guy, Dan, he's amazing, Lazaro. He, his story, he said, you gotta hear his story, it's so amazing. Greg Fulton, if you met him before, he was just so excited.
Yeah, he gave me my first shot. He hired me. Greg.
I knew
And
you
I didn't know
before
him.
I knew you, because he's a strong. So shout out to you, Greg Fulton, if you watch.
Yeah, and I ain't never met Greg before, just something. I walked in that office one day and he like, hey, you think you like to work here? We started talking and gave me the application. He printed it out, the job post, and I went, applied for it and got the job. And, so yeah, Greg.
So that was at the kitchen for it first? Is that the job there
Nah,
or the
this
front
is
desk?
the front desk downtown. But through that, just seeing how valuable my story was, and just finding that I didn't, like I say, cooking was my first love. I picked this up along the way.
Right.
But seeing I had a knack for it,
Talking to people.
everything I had been through can help somebody else.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I went and get certified and, just kept on doing it. Full circle. My kids now that, I got custody of my two youngest sons.
Now that's the ones from Via Platte?
From Via Platte, yeah.
How old are they now?
14 and 12.
Okay.
Yeah, but I probably wouldn't have custody if I wouldn't drag through that first situation. You know what I'm saying?
learned something.
I learned something, you know what I'm saying? And I learned now you're not finna do me like that no more. So, my kids doing great, and, met a beautiful wife in the process.
What's your wife's name?
Rebecca Overshawn from Acres
All right,
Home.
shout out to Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca.
Hey.
So did you meet her through the VA program?
Yeah, through the VA program.
So she a veteran also?
Yeah, she a veteran. We get each other, so.
We're all colleagues.
Yeah. So,
Oh yeah. Oh, so she works there too?
Yeah. So
And Greg.
And Greg. Okay.
so-
All in the same program.
Oh
yeah,
wow.
So she did with like 13, 14 years in the Army, so she really been in the combat and all that, so she really understand. We get along well.
Now, do y'all have children together or just separate?
No. I got custody of my sons from Ville Platte, but yeah.
Does she have children?
No, she don't have no children. That's her big baby still.
Well, push her up again
yeah.
for
Yeah. It's
standing
nothing but
and
respect.
being a
Standing in the
mother.
gap, standing in the
Yeah.
gap.
For sure,
So
for
they
sure.
mother in Ville Platte is okay with
Yeah,
with
we
this?
good. We good. Yeah.
She was okay with sending the boys here? Or that was a
No,
fight?
that was a legal
But-
thing. But now that you see how it turned out, now we,
Right.
she see the bigger picture now. So we
Right.
good now, But yeah, man, it's been, I check, like I say, in the world that we work
Hey,
in.
what y'all doing? Y'all looking at the wrong people.
Give it a shout out.
in the peer support world, unfortunately, but fortunately, I check a lot of boxes. Ain't many people that can talk about custody battles.
Right.
Ain't many people that can talk about being homeless.
That lived experience.
That lived the experience, you know what I'm saying? And then now, we about a year and a half, we just bought a house out there in Meridiana.
Not the house.
Yeah. So
Where is that?
That's it's Rosharon, Iowa
Okay.
Colony, new
way out, okay.
community. So,
So how long ago was that?
um,
Bought a house?
September 2021.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Well, I know you feeling good now. You
Yeah,
got your
so
own
it's-
place.
it's
You can
all,
cook.
like,
You can
the
be
vision-
outside.
the vision done
Got
came
your
to,
kids.
it done came to fruition.
Is
So,
your mom still with us?
Yeah, my mom and my family in Ville Platte.
So she happy? She see her
Oh
son?
yeah. She's
So you the only one that's out, huh? Or not at this point? Or is
No, I
some
got
more
a brother back home, and he got his nonprofit and stuff too. So he in the community,
Good.
And my other brother still in Angola doing life. My younger brother, he figured it out,
So does your mother has she been able to come visit you in
Oh
your
yeah,
house?
she got a room at the house.
All righty,
Oh,
mama,
come on,
go,
mama.
mama, go,
Mother-in-law.
mama.
She got a
Go,
mother-in-law
mama.
suite,
Mama's
so-
happy now.
We got a
So-
room
Mama
at
got
the
a room when she come visit.
So we that was in.
Is she still working?
Oh yeah, my mama, she a nurse. Whether she
I don't know
on the
how old
clock
she
or-
is, so I'm not asking, but I'm just saying. I
She
don't know.
she's 66 this year.
Yeah, she's my.
Yeah,
she in my group.
Yeah,
Okay.
she a nurse. She gonna help somebody. Bless her soul. But yeah, she. So everything good, man. I like.
So how do you stay on the right track? What advice can you give others to kind of stay on the right track when they want to do wrong from the things you've seen?
Find your tribe. If I can say anything, find your tribe.
And your tribe is the VA community, or what do you consider your tribe?
My tribe is veterans. My tribe is people that are striving to do better. You know what I'm saying? Whether veterans or not, people who just want better for themselves. Who not settling for the dumb stuff. For the being a dope boy or jack or none of that. Like you open your eyes and see what's really out here and strive for it, and don't let nobody tell you can't do it. That was my problem. I was listening to all these people for the longest, but I had some ideas up here and people like, oh, that ain't gonna work because it ain't work for them, but everybody ain't got your vision, you know what I'm saying? God put that, you got your own two eyes that you look through. God put that in your eyes. I had to get to the point where I'm like, you know what? Ain't none of that been working y'all been saying, so I might as well do what's up here, you know what I'm saying? And that's when it start working. I even changed my New Year's meal. I don't even eat, I don't even eat what is the greens
Black
and all
eyed
that, man.
peas,
I
huh?
eat lamb chop and steak and lobster tail, and that's my New Year's, because I was eating all that for years and I was still broke. I was still, you know what I'm saying? When I changed to steak and baked potatoes, man, that was 2014. I moved to Houston, my lifestyle changed. So I just started creating my own lane and, use my resources. Resources is key for me,
Let me ask you something. Did you bring us anything that because we created this, Vivian let me create this series to address the fact that veterans have access to resources. Maybe they're with incarceration, maybe not.
Yeah.
So before we run out of time, I want you to be able to read out some of those places.
So yeah, I did bring it. Thank you for bringing that up. So what I'm gonna say to anybody,
You can look straight at the camera.
anybody bumping their head, having a rough time, find your tribe. There's a new CRC That's the abbreviation. Community Resource and Referral Center. Opening up, it's not open now, but any day now it'll open at 1700 Webster Street. That's Houston 77033. There's a domiciliary for homelessness. You can check in the domiciliary. It's not open yet, but it's coming. 4320 Old Spanish Trail. We have ask for a peer specialist. You know, somebody, if you're not understanding the process, if you're having trouble navigating the process, ask for a peer specialist. We have plenty of them. That's a veteran helping another veteran, a veteran that probably have been through what you've been through or what you're going through, that can help you navigate the system. There's a homeless hotline number, 1-877-424-3838. Even if you're incarcerated or facing incarceration, there's a vet court. You know, ask your lawyer, talk to the court about getting in vet court. These people really are trying to help veterans win. I used to be a court mentor. Combined Arms is an organization that I love. Combined Arms, that's a one-stop shop for veteran resources. That's at 2929 McKinney Street.
I'm gonna get the VA.
Yeah, the VA, yeah, you can walk into the VA every day and just, like I said.
What's the address?
2002 Holcomb Boulevard.
That's right.
Yeah, the VA, Michael E. DeBakey. They have legal assistance for veterans independent, Lone Star Legal Aid at the VA. I know one day they there Tuesdays from 8 to 4 p.m. on the 6th floor. We also have people that's facing jail or in jail doing time. We have VJO officers. They actually go in jail, talk with you, connect you to resources. As you're getting out and after you're getting out, we have a program called HCRV. It's for post-incarceration. We actually have a fellow peer support that works in that program. They're gonna help you transition out of prison. They're gonna help you get connected to benefits, get connected to primary care doctor, mental health doctor. These are all resources. If I would have had, I probably wouldn't have went through what I went through. You know, I didn't know nothing about this. So it's a thing of mine. Now that I know, I'm finna share it with everybody. They should have never told me. You know
No, that's the whole point.
You know, so,
that's the whole point for our veterans.
So
That's
yeah,
the
we
whole
got help. Find your tribe, come in. I know people have bad experiences with the VA. We can point out all kind of stuff about the VA, but there's a lot of good things about the VA. Take what you can, you know what I'm saying, and use it to your advantage. So that's the message I want to paint. Don't really listen to nobody. Come get your own experience, you know what I'm saying? And ask for a peer specialist. We in mental health, we in the homeless program, we throughout the hospital. And our job, our certificate and discipline is to be an advocate for you as one of you.
All right, I'm being told to wrap it up. So I hope you got some good information about the restoration after being incarcerated as a veteran, all the good veteran services. Thank you for watching Truth and Justice with Vivian King. Danny is going to bring more veterans on so we can talk about incarceration and vets. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later. Thank you. Good night.
Man, thank you. Good, man.
Thank you for tuning in again. Tonight we have something really good, a hot topic in the news this week. He's been charged with crime. This is a show where I